Hi, this is Kevin from Naples, Florida, and today we're going to show you how to put the fencing on the fence post. Okay, so the only tools you needed for this job is a hammer, and a little sledgehammer works better, it's heavier. Some fence pliers, some sort of a pipe or a wooden rod or something to go through the fence to stretch it. Either a truck or a tractor, something to pull tension. If you have one of these, it just makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to have it, but check out those on my website. Uh, and if you got a gator to haul your fence around, that's always helpful too. But those are the only tools you need. And you need, for material, you need a bucket of those galvanized staples with a double barb. And of course, you need to have a roll of the fence. Now, I could have just did this 160-foot lengths. I could have just stretched it twice and did it twice, and then I wouldn't have had to cut the gate out. But either way, you could stretch it twice, do it on each end, or you can just do the whole 320 or whatever it was for us, 315. So that's all you need. Okay, so we did part one on how to install your fence posts, and you want to be sure to check out that video. These fence posts were installed several months ago. We went ahead and hooked our gate up already, so it's here and ready. And now we're just going to put the fence up, and I'll show you what we're going to use for that. Okay, what we're using here is field fencing. This is going to be for cattle. You want to keep the little critters out, and so it starts off really small together, little spaces, and then they get bigger as you go. You get up here, you got a big space. But we like using this red brand. The top one is red. So on this gauge, this is what we're using right here. Red brand, it's called Field Fence. And it's got 12 gauge on top, which is really hardy. And then these others are less than that. But this is 47 inches high and 330 foot long. So we were able to start way down here at the end where the other gator is, and we're going to stretch it all the way to the end down there. And then once we get it stretched tight, we're going to flip it up on there, and we're going to use a truck to keep tension on it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So that's a little less than 330 foot. It's probably 315 or so. But that one section will do this whole thing, and then we'll just cut out the spot where the gate is when we're all done. Okay, now you don't have to use red brand. You can use whatever kind you want. That's just what we prefer. You have used other kinds. These are probably going to be, I don't know, somewhere in $200 to $300 range, depending on if you can get a sale or not. And you can get these at Rural King, or you can get them at Tractor Supply or various other places. But this is what we use, and we're going to be putting some cattle out on our front five. And so we're getting this all fenced in for cattle. All right, so what we did here is we started down on that end, way down there, and we started rolling this out. Now, when you roll it out, you want to make sure this heavy 12 gauge, which is red strand, is going to flip up and be on top, because that's where you want that one, is on top. So if you roll it the wrong direction, it's not going to flip up correctly. So we just took two guys and kicked this thing and rolled it out all the way down there, the first 330. Now we're going to go down on the other end. We're going to staple up on the H post, and then when we're ready, we will put tension on this. We'll flip the whole thing up and we'll staple it down. Okay, so we're down here at the beginning. We made this a little bit longer than what we need by a couple feet. And we are going to staple this on this corner post. This is called the H, and we got a video on how to do that. Be sure to check that out. I also got a video on putting in all these poles, drawing a string, measurements, all that. So make sure you check out that video. But right now we're going to start by stapling this thing up, and it's going to go down a little bit of an angle till it gets to that bottom one, and then it's going straight after that. All right, and we always start with the bottom one first, and we like running this thing all the way down to the ground, so nothing can get under there. Also make sure it's going to be nice and straight up and down. Okay, you can do every other one, but we like doing every one on ours. So we're going to put a staple in every one. And these staples here is what we're using. These are fence staples. You can get these at Rural King or Tractor Supply. You see one end's a little longer than the other, but they're galvanized and they got these little hooks in the back so they don't pull out. And so that's what I would recommend, inch or inch and a quarter, inch and a half, whatever you can get. Galvanized fence staples with a little hooks in the back so they do not draw out on you. Okay, we're just working our way up. Then we're gonna wrap that thing around. We're gonna put in a second set of staples. But just words of wisdom, it's always better if you got a 17-year-old son, young buck, can put these in there for you. Okay, so we got that one in there. We're gonna wrap it around the pole by halfway. We're gonna put a second set of staples all the way down. Because when we pull this fence tight from the other end, we do not want this fence pulling out of here. We want it to stay right to that corner post. And these are, by the way, these are 8 inches by 8 foot. We got them in the ground about 30, 32, 36, something like that inches. Okay, and then from that age, we just got these round timbers here attached to your other corner post, which is a hair smaller. And what we do, there's lots of ways to do these. You could notch them out. You could use nails, whatever. What we do is just we drill a hole with a long paddle bit and we run a lag bolt through there. After we drill this up, we run a lag bolt through there and it goes into here. We just do one on each end and that's always worked out good for us. And that's how we build our H. Okay, you want to pick up one of these fence tools right here. This will do a lot of things from splicing to cutting to hammering. But right here, you see these little notches. You spread those open and that's how we're going to cut off this excess off of here. Because that whole fence is getting cut off. All right, we're going to cut that off. That's the number, that last one's number 12, and now we're going down to the thinner ones. The thinner ones are going to cut easier, and only the number 12 is going to cut hard for you. This is how you're going to trim off your slack. Okay, now we're going to pull that excess back the other way and just hammer those around there like that. Just creates a nice hook. We're going to go up and down. We're going to do this to all of them. Just wrap them around and just beat them back. And see, this little tool here does have a hammer on one end. Okay, now that we got those all stapled in and ready to go, we're going to go down on the other end. We're going to hook it up to a truck or a tractor, whatever you like. We're going to pull the fence tight before we staple anymore. Okay, now what we're doing real quick, we're running a weed eater down the front of these posts. As you can see here, we're just getting that all the way down to the sand there because we don't want any grass to hold us up or nothing, no sand or nothing to hold us up. We want it to sit right on the ground. All right, we got this piece of pipe here and we're just weaving it in and out of the field fencing. And you can see now how the field fencing gets smaller as you go. But we're just weaving this on top of one and under the next, on top of one and under the next. And you could use a wooden pole or one of those iron or steel fence posts if you wanted, or just something. But this is what we do. We got this about a 2-inch piece of metallic tubing, and we just wind it in and out of there. Then we're going to hook a sned strap to each end of that and pull it tight like that. All right, now we don't need the rest of this roll here. We're going to go ahead and cut this off. But what we did is we took a small snatch strap, we slid it over the top, we slid one down there on the bottom. We're going to wrap it around the hitch, and we're going to pull forward to put tension on this thing. You only want to put it on if it's nice and tight. You do not want to put it on loose. It's going to look bad and it's not going to work as good. So I like to put it on nice and tight. So we'll ease that truck forward, once we cut this off till the fence is tight, and you'll see it down there. It'll actually flip right up onto the post for you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut this, and you want to leave a couple feet like this because sometimes this bar will bust through one of these links and end up down here or down there. So you want to give yourself a little extra before you start pulling it tight. All right, so we cut all that off there, so the slack's gone. Now we're going to get in the truck. We're going to ease it forward until this thing pulls tight and flops all that fence up on the post. Okay, so we stretched this tight, as you can see. And by the way, this right here is made by Rhino USA. I got a video on that. Be sure to check that out under auto accessories. And it goes right in there. And the good thing about that is it'll roll around that hitch to keep you level, because you want to have the same tension. If that bottom one's not the same tension as the top one, it's not going to stretch it straight. So you want to have these the same exact length, same exact tension. And as you can see here, it will take out one of these loops. That's why I said give yourself plenty of slack on this end, because it will pull through some of these one time. It's ready to break right now, but it's nice and tight. As you can see, this is just temporary tacked up. It's not up yet. But what we did, well, after we stretched it and got it tight, we went down here and put some temporary tacks in it because it was leaning just a little bit. So we got some temporary tacks in there to hold it up until we permanently tack it down, which is what they're doing right now. But temporary tack, I'm just talking about, just take one of those same staples and just put it in halfway. Just enough to hold this thing up. See, here's another one right here. Just enough to hold it up straight until you get the whole thing tacked in. And as you can see, we did temporary tacks all the way down to the end. They're down there now. They're starting to staple it up, and they're working themselves back this way. I'll show them something. By the way, today we're using this Gator Diesel 875M. It's the newest thing. I think it came out in 24, 25, but they got the big oversized bed on it. So you can fit like a whole roll of fencing in here, and you could fit pallets in there if you had a forklift. But this nice oversized bigger bed than usual. Well, be sure to check out my videos on this. It's a Gator XUV, and it's 875M. I've got about 3 different videos on this right now. But this is good for working on farms, or we have a lawn service. We use it there too, so it's multi-uses for it. But the diesel engine on this, we haven't put gas in this thing in 10 weeks for diesel. So it's so fuel efficient. Okay, so we're just gonna leave that truck parked in park and emergency brake on and keep that tension on until this thing is all the way tacked down. Okay, so you can see if you can have one person stand on the other side and press real hard when he's hammering in, that's gonna make things go a lot faster. Because otherwise you're gonna be beating that post a little bit out of its hole. So a 2-man operation will work much quicker for you. Okay, as you can see, now we've tacked every one of these down. You don't have to, you can go every other one or whatever, but we like to really overdo everything and do it good. So it's all tacked in there. Now after you beat on these posts, they're gonna get a little wobbly like this. So what I would do is get a little water in there. If you have a hose that's not too far, you put yourself some water in there and use the end of a shovel hammer and pack that down. Otherwise, just wait for your next rainstorm. We're just getting out of a drought, so the sand is really dry. We're here in South Florida, and the sand is really dry right now. So, but when rainy season kicks in, it's all going to be nice and firm. But you don't have to worry about these bigger ones. These bigger ones, these will be in there rock solid no matter what. These babies are not moving, and that's why you want to make your corner posts like that. Okay, and the neat thing about this dump bed here is they put these little slats in there like this, and you can put a 2x4, 2x8, or whatever like we did here. We put these in too high, and then when you dump, everything behind here is not going to go falling out of your bed. All right, so this is a 47-inch fence. We're going to leave about 6 inches here at the top or so, however many we get, because we're going to be putting some barbed wire across there. That'll be a separate video, but that's to help keep the cattle in. So we will be stretching barbed wire all the way around this whole pasture as our finishing step. But for today, we're just going to get this fence up here and secure. Okay, now we just staple this whole thing up. 2 people, took them 4 or 5 hours, or just putting on the last staples. We're going to cut out where this gate's going right here. We're going to cut this right here and right over here, and this piece will be gone, and your gate will be operable. Number 12 is going to be the hardest. Got 12 gauge on the bottom, 12 gauge on top. I'm cutting them about 2 inches long because I'm going to double fold these back over the staple where we put them. Okay, well, like I said, we're going to go ahead and cut these all the way down to the last one, and then we're going to fold them back over. Okay, now we're going to fold these back over the other direction. Like so. Okay, same thing on this side. We're going to cut them about 2 inches away, and then we're going to fold them back. Like I said, that top and bottom are the hardest. The middle ones are the easiest to cut. Same thing here. We're just going to go ahead and bend these back over. And there's lots of ways to do a fence. There's more than one, but this is just the way we've always done it, and it's worked out well for us. Okay, now we're at the end. We got our tension on our truck. You can either back it up and let off tension, or you can just start cutting. But we're going to go ahead and cut this about 2 inches away on this side. So there you have it. That's how you install a fence, or one way. Like I said, there's several different ways, but that's one way to install your fence, and hopefully that'll help you out. If you want to subscribe, we're going to have more videos coming out. And if you liked it, please hit the like button. This is Kevin from Naples, Florida.